Heart of Stone. So Gal Gadot playing basically like a version of sort of Ethan Hunt in this Netflix equivalent to a Mission Impossible
Yep.
franchise. What did you think about this movie? What did you think about Heart of Stone?
Okay, number one, I love Gal Gadot. Do I think she's the best actress on planet Earth? No, no, I do not. Do I think she's really good in this movie? Yeah, I think this is probably the best movie I've seen her in outside of Wonder Woman, like the original Wonder Woman. And I thought Wonder Woman was pretty good. I feel like that was probably the best one she's done. Um, I love Jamie Dornan. I did not expect him to be the villain in this. Spoiler alert. Um,
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know
yeah.
that either. He's that's not in how it's portrayed in the trailers. In the trailers, they make Alia Bhatt's character sort of feel like she's the villain of the
No,
story.
it's Jamie Dornan all
Okay,
along.
okay, that makes
And it
okay.
was so like, oh. And then, but it was kind of one of those moments where you're like, not surprised, but surprised. You're like, that just took a turn that I truly did not anticipate. But okay. I love Matthias. I am the worst German you'll ever meet. Schweighofer? Schweig. So he's in this movie. He was also in Oppenheimer. I love seeing him. I don't know how to pronounce his name for the life of me. I'll learn, I swear.
Oh,
He's
Matthias Schweighofer. Oh, I could. That's
Yeah,
probably the best way I can
exactly.
do
Yep.
it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
no
Yep.
mind. Yeah,
I think it's Schweighofer, but like I don't.
yeah.
My German cousin will probably watch this and be like, "We need to get you back to Germany ASAP." I like Aaliyah Bhatt. What else is she in?
Oh, Alia Bhatt is like one of the biggest like Bollywood stars today, like
Oh,
working in the Indian film industry.
yeah.
She was so if you saw RRR, which was like probably the biggest movie to come out of India last year in terms of just a cultural zeitgeist
Mhm.
impact, she was in that movie. She played the love interest for one of the main characters. But outside of that, she's mostly a Bollywood actor, like the
Mhm.
Hindi film industry specifically. And she is probably the biggest reason why she's in this movie is because, and if you look at the rest of the cast, they've got a very international cast in this film. I think Netflix knows it's a kind of a by the numbers the way they
Well,
cast
I
these
wouldn't
movies
even give
because they want to
Netflix
expand that
credit for that.
franchise.
As Gal Gadot says, it was one of the things because she's actually the producer on this movie with her husband. She and her husband produced this movie. I think it's one of the first that their production company has finalized and put out and released. And she
Okay.
was determined not only to have this story be from the female perspective versus just like a male version of Ethan Hunt. She really wanted to like create a fully dimensional feminine movie.
Yeah, not just Ethan
Yeah,
Hunt, but like a woman, but like something that's
I
right.
don't
I see what you
know
mean.
how well she did that, or maybe she did it so well that it wasn't even like noticed. You know what I mean? Like when I was watching the movie, it wasn't something that I was like, that's just a man. No, I just think it's very Mission Impossible esque. The mission itself, it's mission oriented. The mission shifts. Her character has a very like Ethan Hunt like character arc. She is doing the thing. She does a lot of her own stunts, which is super cool. And overall, I would watch this movie. Like, watch it from home. Just turn it on. You just gotta. I like movies that I can stay home and watch now. I feel like so many movies are moved in the movie theater. I'm getting overwhelmed with it. It was too much too soon.
What about like so I wanted to compare so I was looking this up, right? Like
Yeah,
because last year there was another movie that was kind of in the same genre. It had Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, Captain America
I
in
do
it. And
remember.
of
Yep.
course Ken,
Drive?
Ryan Gosling
Drive.
Ken. No, it wasn't not Drive. It was called The Gray Man. It was
Oh, yeah,
directed
yes.
by it was either directed or it was produced by I think it might have been both by the Russo brothers who like did the
This
Avengers, the
is
last two
better than that.
Avengers. Because like in that movie, I mean, that movie like left me thinking Ryan Gosling is just doesn't have the acting chops to play anybody other than just like somebody who's that very stoic, action kind of a star. But then, like, of
He
course,
got you
Ken
with
kind of
Ken.
changed
Maybe that's
it
why Ken
completely,
is hitting you so hard. You're like,
hitting me so
I
hard.
just thought that he was a
Right.
one-dimensional man.
But like, well, yeah, but like that's the reason that when I looked at the trailer for Heart of Stone and I looked back at my experience with the Gray Man, I was like, it seems like it's kind of the same deal. Also, in the sense that they had like one of the big like action stars from South Indian cinema be in that movie to kind of set up a spinoff, and I think that that movie was set to kind of kick off a franchise with sequels, spinoffs, and other kind of sub like
I would
prequels even.
actually say no. This is
Yeah.
more grounded. The Gray
Okay.
Man was a little bit, the marketing, if you remember on that, was so heavy. The marketing, like,
Well, because like Chris Evans' character was this crazy, over the top,
yeah, and
mustache
then Chris
twirling
Evans'
villain.
character, he was like bigger than life. Everything in this movie is super grounded. I will give it that. It's more, it's more in the same step as Bourne, Mission Impossible, or Bond. It definitely takes after those. And I think in Gal Gadot's latest Flaunt article, she actually talks about how those have and have always been some of her favorite movies. She really loves the action genre. Um, and those are her inspirations. It definitely follows in that line. It's not the Gray Man. The Gray Man was like, you had to suspend belief in a way, and it created this like bigger than life
Yeah.
sort of environment. This is not like that. The team she's originally working for is MI6, and then she's actually like a double agent, and but it's not as like hokey as the Gray Man was.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I didn't think Gray Man was super hokey, but I did think Gray Man like kind of pushed the boundaries like of like staying grounded at times, and definitely. So yeah. Well, I mean, not having seen this movie though, like the way you're talking about it, it seems like certainly just the Jamie Dornan character
I
in
think
it
the
alone makes me interested.
as you love Mission Impossible as much as you do, you'll
Hmm.
love this movie.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it now. I mean, it's on Netflix, so
Yeah.
it doesn't take much. You could just turn on your TV and pop on Netflix. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I do you think this is a movie that kind of set up some sequels and spin-offs along the way?
Absolutely, 1000%. I think not only do they have a sequel in the works, they actually, I think, want to create their own, uh, I mean,
Fran-
their own,
Franchise out of this?
yeah, that's
Okay.
the goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's they're not very subtle about like the way they've kind of with the Gray Man or with Heart of Stone trying to set up new action franchises over at Netflix,
But
kind of
are
creating their
they,
own
they're not coming out
franchises.
with another Gray Man, are they?
No, well, they did announce that they were going to do a sequel, and then they had a few spin-offs set up from that movie. Kind of like what they did with the new John Wick. Well, not the same studio, obviously, but like
Yeah.
with Lionsgate, they set up a spin-off at the end with the last scene in the movie. They definitely have a fifth John Wick in the works. They've got that spin-off with Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
So I think like Netflix it knows now, like from a business perspective, the way they cast these movies from with some of the biggest actors from different parts of the world, so that they can potentially like spin off those characters in their own movies as part of the larger franchise,
Mhm.
but also just doing more sequels. But yeah, hey, let us know, guys. What do you guys think about Heart of Stone? Have you seen it yet? Is it something that you're interested in now, or is just not something you're going to want to check out? Gal Gadot, of course, is naturally charismatic, and her charm probably is one part of the reason why you want to check this out. If you're a fan of Jamie Dornan, or if you're a fan of Bollywood movies and you want to see Alia Bhatt in this film, you can always go and look at that for that reason too.